Okay, this is the demonstration of the Service Manager option for our system. So there's a few things that you want to set up to start with. So let's go up into Edit and Company Settings. And there we'll find a tab called Service Orders. So this is the names of the fields that show up when you do a service order. So you get to choose any of these labels you wish. So if you want to call the tab that's inside of a work order service info, or if you repair trucks or something, you might call it truck info or vehicle info. And all these fields can all be changed. So this could be changed to vehicle history, or instead of last reading, this can say odometer. Instead of count and meter, this could say kilometers and miles. So all the way through here, you can change all these fields to match your type of industry. So all these fields. Now, this is the only fields that we changed here are the ones under the service order tab, right, and on the equipment tab. So once you've set that, you want to then set up a work orders number. So again, under company settings, and then we go to sequence numbers. And if you want to use a separate work order number for your work order, under this check mark, you turn it on, and then you'd go to work order. You say start with a W and put what your next work order number is. That way, when you create a new work order, it'll create it as a W number instead of a regular order number like it shows at the top here, sales order number. If you don't turn this on, then even your work orders will have just the next sequential number. Now, some people want to do that, so it's up to you how you set that up. So those are the two setup areas. And then the differences on the menu you're going to see is another button here called Equipment. So I click on Equipment. This shows all of your customers' equipment. So every customer, every piece of equipment. Now, for most people, this has got hundreds and hundreds of items on it. But as you can see here, we've just got a few pieces of equipment set up right now. And those field names that I gave it in the company setup show up here: tag number, customer number, unit number, make, model, year, serial number. So if you had set up for vehicles, you might have changed this to VIN number, and that's reflected in these fields here as well. So if I open up one of these items, so if I open up this item here, this is a piece of equipment belonging to Danville Nursing Home. It's a ShopRider electric wheelchair. It's got its serial number, its make and model, year, and if this piece of equipment has a meters or a count on, you can tell it whether it's hours you're tracking or a count. A count may be something like a photocopier that has a number of copies on it. Hours is an hour meter, obviously. And again, if it's vehicles, it may be mileage or kilometers. Okay, and then under this tab, it shows you some history of what work's been done on that. But we'll get into that a little bit later when we go into the work order side. So again, if you're on this list and you want to find a piece of equipment you don't know who it belongs to, you can sort by, say, serial number. And if you come here and just type in, say, T, it'll jump down to that number, and you'll be able to double click on it and see who owns it, or it even shows on the list here as well. So that's the setup and the viewing area of the service. So let's see how it all kind of falls together in the system. So if you go into a customer and you go to, say, for instance, that Danville Nursing Home, DAN, you'll see another tab inside the customer. So all the tabs here that you show here are for this particular customer, but an additional one will be here called Equipment. So this shows that same list we looked at earlier by clicking on the Equipment tab, but in here it shows just the equipment belonging to this particular customer. And then you have the same capability of looking at them by double clicking on it. Okay, and then you can add new ones here as well. So if you have equipment that when you're first starting out, and you want to put all your customers' equipment in here, you can do so by clicking New on here. But I will also show how you can have it done at a work order level as well. So I'll close that off. So let's actually go in to do a work order now. So we click on the sales icon, and if we can either hit New or this little arrow beside it, we can go directly to a new work order. So if we say New Work Order, then it opens up and puts an open work order here with that W number on it. I'll just go View Full. So that W number is put there. If you forget, so I won't save that one, and you click on New, and it's just a regular order you're creating at this point, you can still change it by clicking here. So you'll see right now it has a 700 number on it. You can click it here and go to a work order, and then it switches it over to a W number. Okay, so that's creating a work order. So now what we'll do is we'll put a customer on. So we'll go DAN, and we'll find Danville Nursing Home, and it fills out all their information. For all the information on actually creating orders, look at the videos in the video channel and on our website under support for all the rest of it. I'm just going to focus here on the service side of things today. So we have a tab called Service Info, and from here we choose the piece of equipment we're going to work on for this particular customer. So we look it up, and there's the 3 pieces of equipment that they own. So we'll choose this piece, or this one here. Let's choose this one here. So as soon as we choose it, the make, the model, the VIN or the serial number, and any other other pieces of identifying information, I've left them as called serial 1 and serial 2 and serial 3. But in that setup area where we chose what the field names were, you can call these anything you need to track about this item. And those are searchable fields, so use them for good purposes and don't waste them for things like notes, because down here we keep notes as well. So here would be a list of things about this particular piece of equipment. This doesn't normally print on the work order, although it could if you needed it to. Typically what you would put here is things that are installed on this piece of equipment as an option. If you're in, say, the RV repair industry, you might put a list of the stove, the fridge, and all their serial numbers as well. Okay, and then on the other side you'll see invoices that we've done work on in the past. So we double click on one of them, it drills down into the actual invoice, and when we build them in the past, we get all the history of it here. And if I look at the next one, click then on this one here, we'll see here we did a paint touch up and we charged for some paint. And this one here, we installed an option on this one. Okay, so it basically shows you all the different ones. So while you're working the work order, you can actually look at the history that pertain to not just this customer, but this piece of equipment here as well. Okay, so let's say we're going to make this a work order, so we'll just throw some labor on here to start with. Put it on there. We're going to charge them a couple hours, and maybe we'll put the problem here. We'll type on here noisy wheel. Okay, and save that. And then we want to print this work order so we can give it to our technician. So we click on the print, and it's telling us that we're missing the meter reading. So because we've turned on the meter section, it'll ask us to remind us each time we save this order that we haven't put it in yet. So if the equipment's got an hour meter on it or something like that, you can make sure you put that in under the service info. That way, every time it comes in, we get the next meter reading, and we get kind of a history of how long between repairs and things like that. Not only just how many days between, but how much usage it's had between the repairs as well. But it is a warning, so you can clear it. Okay, so then it comes up and wants to print. And what we have here is the service order, and I will print also the vehicle service history report. In this case, it's called vehicle, but whatever you want that report to be called can be changed. So I'll preview these two. So first of all, I get the actual work order. So what it shows here now is the tag number, the year, the make, the model, the serial number, and the fact that we're charging some labor and what's wrong with it, and a place for the customer to sign off. And then in here we got just some subtotals. Then we have and this shows all the services that have ever been done to this one in the past. So we got a bunch of notes and stuff on there, but we've also got now every bit of work that was done to this particular piece of equipment and every invoice number where it was done. So we do have a couple of outstanding work orders plus any past work orders. So this is going to be given to the technician when they actually do the service work. That way they're not having to go back to the computer to look things up all the time. All right, so once we're finished with it and the technician's added in how much time, so let's say it actually took them 3 hours, so we're going to charge a bit more. Then we simply click on the invoice button, put on their account or whatever you want to do. It comes up with the invoice now, and I'll just preview that. And then what we get is the invoice with all the information on it. So I see that we got our make, model, and all that is at the top as well. So now that we've done that, it's become part of our history. So if we go back to the work order and do another work order down the road, that new historical invoice will be in there. So the last thing I want to show you is a way to add new pieces of equipment on the fly. So if I pick Danville again, and we go to the service tab and we look up and we don't find the piece of equipment we want to work on, so maybe it's the first time it's been here, you can simply come here. So you put a tag number on if you wish, a unit number, so it comes up and says cannot be found in the database, so you want to add it new, so I put that tag number on, and here's where you fill in everything else. So if it has a unit number, you put that on. You must have either a unit number or a serial number. One of those two must be present, so I'll put in the serial, and maybe it's a shop rider, and we'll give it another new model number. If you've ever worked on an item in the past, it shows up on these lists, so you'll see that the model number there that I put in earlier is there, but maybe I've got another model number that's an FT645, and then the year is a 2014, the serial number, and any notes you want to put on here at this point. Then you just simply save it. Now it becomes part of the database automatically for next time I want to service it, and historical information will show up for that afterwards as well.